Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Jeans is the robe that I think everyone loves and everyone wears, but sometimes jeans do not longer fit, or you don't like them anymore, or kids are too big for them already. So after some time each house has a pile of old jeans laying around which you don't want to throw away but you don't know what to do with. And today I want to show you several ideas of old jeans makeovers and I hope you love them. So let's get started. So the first project I'm going to be making is a teddy bear. There's a huge number of templates on the internet. I've chosen the one quite randomly. By the way, I'm not very happy with it. I've corrected it later, and as usual I'll leave the link for it in the description box below. When cutting out all the parts, I'm trying to make matching parts with the same degree of wear of the jeans, so that they are both lighter or darker. It adds character to the toy. I'm also making the central part of the head with a jeans seam. It will look more interesting and unusual like this. So here I have 2 parts for the body, 4 parts for the arms and the legs. The legs also have the feet. These are cut wrong side out. 4 pieces for the ears, 2 side parts of the head, and finally a central wedge part with the seam. To make the body, first I'll sew the tucks. I'll use a sewing machine, but you can also sew by hand. There's not much sewing here actually. After that, I'm folding the parts of the body together and sewing them along the edge. I'm leaving a hole in the neck and in the back to turn out and stuff the bear later. As for the arms, here everything is quite easy. I'm sewing them along the edge, leaving a hole for turning out. By the way, it's marked on the template. To make the legs, first I'm sewing the side seams, again leaving a hole for turning out. After that, I'm placing the feet parts into them, placing them wrong denim side out so that the heels are light colored, and then I'm stitching and sewing them into place. The hardest part of the work is the head. First I'm sewing the tucks. Here I've made a mistake in the order of the work. Here you need to attach the ears right into the large tucks. I didn't do it, so I'll have to fix it later. I'll show the process to you as is, otherwise it will be hard to understand, but remember, you should attach the ears here. Next, I'll attach the central wedge part to the side parts. First, I'm sewing the side parts together along the line from the neck to the nose. After that, I'm inserting the wedge parts, stitching and sewing the area from the nose to the forehead, and then from the top of the head to the back of the head, leaving the holes for the ears at the top. Well, and if you do it right, at this stage you can place the ears into the seam and finish the seams already. Well, now about the ears in detail. I'm sewing them along the edge. Here I've also made one part wrong side out, so that the inside of the ears is lighter. I'm turning the head inside out to see where to attach the ears. And here I've realized that the ears had to be put into the tucks. So I'm ripping the tucks and placing the ears in the ear. The shorter part of the ear will be then bent along the seam to the nose, and the main part of the ear should be in the tuck. I'll mark on the template how it should go. And after that, I'm refinishing all the seams. Finally, everything is ready and I'm turning all the parts inside out and stuffing them. As you can see, all the parts of the bear are separate here, and such a bear can be made with movable arms and legs. I have long wanted to try to make such a toy. For a movable joint, there are special sets, quarter pins joints. These are a disc with a hole in the middle, a washer and a quarter pin itself. It's better to buy ready-made ones, of course. They provide a neat and strong connection, and you won't be afraid to tear off the bear's arms or legs. But I didn't want them at home, I didn't want to order and to wait, so I'll try to make these joints all by myself. First, I'm cutting out the discs. They are usually made out of plywood or fiberboard. I've decided to use thick transparent plastic from a package. I'm cutting out circles about an inch in diameter. I'm making a hole in the center of the circle with a thick needle. In addition to the discs, you'll need paper clips and washers. My husband gave me what he found in his storage box, so I have different sizes here. I'm unbending a paper clip and folding the capital letter T out of it, making a small top crossbar and a long leg. The top bar should rest on the washer you've picked up and not fall through the hole. I'll show the joint assembly without fabric first to make it more clear. I'm placing a washer on the cotter pin, then a plastic disc. Then there will be fabric, then again a plastic disc, a washer, and finally the cotter pin tails should be twisted into 2 curls, so that the curls rest on the washer safely. Well, now I'll try to repeat this on the toy. I'm assembling half of the joint, a T-cotter pin, a washer and a plastic disc. I'll have to remove some stuffing here to be able to assemble the toy. I'm placing the cotter pin inside the leg and piercing the leg from the inside with the cotter pin. I'm removing the stuffing from the body as well and sticking the cotter pin into the attachment point, this time from the outside to the inside. I'm placing a disc and a washer and twisting the pin leg into 2 curls. All that is left is to stuff the parts back and you're done. I'm attaching all the arms and legs like this. If you use this kind of joints, the limbs can rotate around the axis and you can make the bear stand or sit, give it a desired position, raise and lower the arms, and so on. The head is, as usual, the most complicated thing to do. Before touching it, I'll make the eyes. I've got black sheen buttons. They are actually too small for this bear, but I use what I have. I'll try to make the eyes look bigger later. I'm marking the attachment points for the eyes, fastening a strong thread on the back of the head and stretching it through the entire head to the place where the eye will be. I'm attaching the button and threading it back, pulling the thread at the same time so that the eye sinks a little. I'm repeating the same process with the second eye. You can also tighten the muzzle a little with threads so that it gets better shape. After that, I'm sewing up the hole in the head, and at the same time I'm placing the cotter pin with a washer and a disc inside, so that the leg of the cotter pin sticks out. I'm sewing up the upper hole in the body, removing a little stuffing again, sticking the cotter pin of the head into the neck, then as usual placing the counterpart, a disc and a washer, and twisting the cotter pin into 2 curls as I have already shown. Now the bear can turn its head. Then I'm returning back all the stuffing to its place and sewing up the holes with a blind seam. I'll not dwell in detail how to do that, there's a lot of detailed videos and instructions on how to do it. I'll leave a link to one of them to make it more clear. And then I'm going to shade the bear to make the muzzle more expressive. At first I've tried to rub the denim with sandpaper to make it lighter, but I didn't like the results, so I've decided to tint it with acrylic paints. I'm dry brushing the bear with a white acrylic paint, highlighting the bear's muzzle, the areas above the eyes, the front paws and the tummy. I'm also tinting it black around the eyes, making a dark edging. The eyes immediately appear larger and more expressive. To make a nose, I'm cutting out a piece of thick fabric. You can use leather, suede or felt here. I'm hot gluing the nose to place. And after that, I'm embroidering the nose with black thread, right over the glued one. Due to this felt part, the nose gets very convex and voluminous. I'm embroidering the mouth as well. And I've also decided to make white edging for the eyes to make them even more vivid. And finally, I've decided to dress up the bear, and I'm making a sweater for it from my old sweater. Here I'm not using any patterns, I'm making all the parts by eye and in place. Finally, I'm pulling on the sweater and the teddy bear is ready. I think any child would be happy to get such a bear with movable parts. I really like these bears, they are quite popular now and they are often made from vintage plush fabric as if it's an antique toy. I have long wanted to try to make such a bear. Of course, it's far from being perfect, but I've made it almost out of nothing as you can see. Hope you like this idea. The second project that I'll show today is a rug. Any pieces of jeans, leftovers from other projects, even smaller ones, will do here. It's better to use jeans of different colors, the rug will look more interesting then. First, I'm cutting a lot of circles and ovals from jeans, all having different sizes and shapes, some bigger, the others smaller, some very round and the others elongated ovals. The greater the variety, the more interesting the finished rug will look. On average, I've made the circles and the ovals of about 5 inches in diameter, some larger up to 10 inches and the smallest are about 2 inches. Don't make it smaller, it will be hard to work with them. And too big are not good as well, you'll get a big difference in height on the rug. Next, I'll make soft pebbles out of circles. To do this, I'm gathering each circle on a thread along the edge and tightening it and then stuffing the resulting bag. To make an elongated pebble, I am taking an elongated oval, gathering it on a thread along a short side, tightening it and stuffing this side right away. After that, I'm folding the long sides of the oval together and sewing the edges into a tube. And finally, I'm also gathering the other short side on a thread, stuffing and tightening the thread. You can do the rug without making these long pebbles. As you can see, they are a bit longer to make than round ones, but if you use them, the rug will look very nice. You can also make the edging of the rug using such long pebbles, as if making a pebble mosaic. The pebbles are very quick and easy to sew, as you can see, but you will need a lot of pebbles to make a rug of any decent size, so it's simple but not fast. Perfect choice for making while you watch your favorite series. Finally, all the pebbles are prepared. I've got the whole table covered with them here, and I'll begin assembling the rug. I made such rugs several years ago already, and I simply hot glued the pebbles on fabric backing then, but this didn't last long. The backing fabric turned out to be quite fragile, and the pebbles would come off here and there after some time, especially along the edges. So this time I've decided to sew them all together. This will take much longer, but the rug will last much longer too. You can still use hot glue to assemble it, but then you want to use a very strong backing, like denim for example, and I would still recommend sewing the pebbles together along the edges. Here again you can make a rug pattern in different ways. You can pick pebbles randomly by color to make the rug colorful, or on the contrary, you can collect all the pebbles of the same shade together and make a smooth color transition. This is what I've decided to do this time. I have gray and light blue and dark blue and even purple jeans here, so it turns out a varied and interesting pattern. I first found this technique on Pinterest some time ago by an Italian artist, Serena Garcia dalla Venezia. At least I think she's Italian. She makes great colorful rugs and I love how they look, so I've decided to recreate something similar to her works out of jeans. You can attach the finished rug onto a fabric backing or simply attach the anti-slip mesh from the inside. Such a rug is very soft and cozy and feels very nice for bare feet. If it's not too big, you can wash it in a washing machine. I've washed mine. By the way, the pebbles are very durable. The first rug I made was used for about a year in my son's room, then I put it away because of the pebbles coming off, but the denim pebbles themselves were in excellent condition. They were not worn or torn, and I've reused them for this rug. So in my opinion, this is a great option for a bedroom, especially if you like a coast style. And if making a rug is too big a project for you, you can make beautiful pillowcases using the same technique. So I hope you loved today's ideas. Please let me know what you think of today's projects down below, which one was your favorite. Thanks for watching the video and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!